say that this country is in the toilet. Some would even go so far as to say the economy is going down the drain. But we say, if water runs through it, we do it.
At Mike Scott Plumbing, we don't make promises we can't keep. We'll be there on time, every time. We promise to work around your schedule and not ours. And we won't charge you overtime for nights, weekends, or holidays. So remember, if water runs through it, we do it. Mike Scott Plumbing, 237-2888.
Hi, I'm Sean Scott, owner of Mike Scott Plumbing, and I approve this message.
On August 26th at 10:05 a.m., representatives from the College of Central Florida will be my guest. This month's program will feature CF Associate Professor Travis Douglas, our agribusiness program manager, who will talk about the need for employees in the agribusiness field and in our area and share some of his personal experiences running a farm and what careers are available. Again, that's Wednesday the 26th at 10:35 a.m. It's valuable news from the College of Central Florida and your friends at WOCA, The Source.
There's a staycation right here in town. It's Super 8 Motel Ocala, right down the road on 40 just west of I-75. And they're pet friendly. Have truck parking. Free breakfast.
Yum, yum.
A swimming pool. A kiddie pool. And veterans get 10% off. It's a staycation at Super 8 Ocala. Call today, Super 8 Ocala at 352-629-8794. Again, 352-629-8794.
Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Pals Ocala Auto Repair fixes all makes and models. Pals makes sure that your vehicle's engine, mechanical, and electrical components are healthy at all times. Pals team would much rather see you drive to their shop for a full checkup than be towed in for a complex repair. Give Pals a call today to schedule your next service appointment. 352-414-2984. What? A nationwide warranty, 36 months or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first? Pals looks forward to servicing you and servicing your vehicle. 352-414-2984.
Ocala Business Leaders Incorporated is a group of independent local firms providing a wide range of quality goods and services. Each firm strives to maintain the highest level of professional integrity and 100% customer satisfaction. When you're looking for goods and services, call a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, and we are confident you will be pleased with the results. If you are interested in becoming a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, join us at the Ocala Elks Lodge, 25th Avenue in Ocala, any Wednesday at 7 a.m. and enjoy a breakfast on us. For more information, check OcalaBusinessLeaders.com. WOCA.
Say now would be a great time this week to visit Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala, especially if you're looking for that just right idea to spruce up your yard or your garden. Now in the old-timey greenhouse, they have tons of indoor foliage. All of it is 10% off. They've got bird baths and pottery, much more stuff like that, all 20% off. And now the vegetable plants have arrived. They've got tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, collards, broccoli, and much, much more. Vegetable plants, the jumbo 4-pack is just $3.99. And how about that pine straw, the world's greatest mulch? Get the extra large bale of pine straw, just $4.99 each when you buy 10 or more. And by the way, vote for Bob Wines in the best of the best. Bob Wines Camellia Gardens. Bob Wines is open from 9 to 4:30 on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source. When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Why
you call Two Men in a Truck. If you're like most people, you're moving and you work hard. You call 352-289-0666. You need pros, trained, professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. You call 352-289-0666. People who care about your things as much as you do. Time is of the essence, and you want it done fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, the movers who care. Visit twomeninatruck.com today and get moving. So call 352-289-0666.
2 Men in a Truck. Cloudy with a thunderstorm today, high 88 to 92. Tomorrow, cloudy to partly sunny with a thunderstorm around, high 90 to 92. Sunday, intervals of clouds to sunshine with a thunderstorm, high 89 to 93. Monday, some sunshine with a thunderstorm possible, humid, high 89 to 91. Tuesday, plenty of clouds, high 88 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. In addition to our pasture mowing and tractor services, including zero-turn mowers for your fence line finish, we also offer rototilling and fence row spraying. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com, 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
Hello, I'm Mark Sears with Regency Printing. With over 10 years in the printing business, I know you'll find Regency Printing the place for all your local printing needs. Plus, I have fax services, mailbox rentals, notary service, U.S. mail, pack and ship, all at one convenient location, 2375 Northeast 25th Avenue. Just look for the yellow signs. Regency Printing, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Regency Printing.
WOCA. Hey, this is Matt from Crossroad Auto Sales. I want to invite you to come over and check out our vehicles. All of our vehicles at Crossroad Auto Sales go through a rigorous 100-point safety inspection. We work with most outside finance companies, and we even have in-house financing available. Stop by today at 1800 Northwest 10th Street or give me a call at 690-6695. That's 690-6695. Crossroad Auto Sales. We won't leave you stranded at the crossroad. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
In the morning, gotta be fresh, gotta go downstairs, gotta have my bowl, gotta have cereal, seeing everything, the time is going, ticking on and on, everybody's rushing, gotta get down to the bus stop, gotta catch my bus, I see my friends, kicking in the front seat, sitting in the back seat, gotta make my mind up, which seat can I take? It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Friday, getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying.
Yeah, good morning. You're listening to AIM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Say good morning. Hey, it's Friday. Partying. Yeah, as we welcome you August 21st to AIM Ocala Live, this Friday show. We made it to the end of another work week amongst this year of 2020. As we say good morning to you, as it's been a cooler morning. We had so much rain in the area yesterday as, it rained for a few hours as it just kept coming. And as it did, it kind of cooled things down a little bit, made the air nice and fresh. But for the moment, it is still a little bit humid out there, but nice and cool. 73 degrees currently as we can see more of the expectations of showers and thunderstorms for today as they're giving us a 60% chance. And even some of that might even happen within the 11 o'clock hour, maybe before noon. Say then a chance of showers and thunderstorms between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. and then likely after 2. As they say, a heat index valued as much as 100 degrees today with that chance of precipitation 60%, where they're looking at a high of only the upper 80s, just creeping into the 90s, but that's how much humidity is expected for today to carry on that heat index to value it close to 100, as we said, as that 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms will bleed into tonight, as they're even talking of a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms for tonight, with your low 73, as we can see it. So we got plenty of rain yesterday, that's for sure. As deionized the air, since negative ions, a lot of good stuff, aligns your chakras, all that good stuff. Anyway, as we've had a lot of weather, there's a little bit of weather to talk about as we've been discussing it here at the Source, keeping you a little informed with some of those tropical depressions that are out there that are expected to turn into tropical depressions to turn into tropical storms. So we'll be discussing that a little bit. We got a good show for you this Friday as we're going to roll with conversations such as the weather as like that. But before that, we're going to bring up some other stuff that we got. And we've got a good show for you lined up today, as obviously we'll get the conversation started at the bottom of the 7 o'clock hours. We're approaching that now, 7:24. As a little bit to talk about from the week as we get you ready for the weekend, as I know a lot of people are looking forward to this weekend, just because it's been that moment of getting kids back to school and kind of finding that rhythm, trying to get themselves in some routine, trying to deal with the phases, the guidelines, all these expectations that go along with dealing with the COVID and all this. And I think this weekend, of everything that worked out, this weekend's that little bit of opportunity to kind of reflect on that and get ready for the next coming week, which will be the last week of August come Monday. And we'll see ourselves moving into September, because the weekend, not this one, but the weekend after that, we could see ourselves coming through with Labor Day already, which sometimes marks the end of summer, but we're in Florida where it's summer all the time. At least it feels like that, right? So yeah, good weekend coming up. I know a lot of people I talk to are looking forward to it, just as it does feel like now the kids are back to school and all that's going on. It's like, okay, well, now there's the weekend coming up, and it feels a little bit better. But obviously, overall, if everything we've discussed, like we did yesterday with the VA clinic, and we had County Commissioner Kathy Bryan in yesterday to discuss a little bit more, of course, what goes on with COVID-19 and our part to be responsible and dependable on the idea and the side of. But at the same time, I think we all understand that. We know where we're at with it, and we're just moving on with it either way. But like I said, as we welcome you to the Friday show, it's pretty good. I get excited for Friday shows because hey, it's the weekend tomorrow, and then that's that. It's a little reserve I get for doing all of this, the media during the week, which can be overwhelming sometimes because of how, like I said, how negative it can kind of get, and how the commonality is always polarization and panic and fear and all that. And then there's some stuff that's good, but you have to dig for it. And then when you do, then you wonder if you're doing a disservice by not giving more information. When you're talking about Cinnadust from Cinnamon Toast Crunch, you wonder if that's a disservice, but at the same time, you're like, hey, it's a morning show. And that's how we get the conversation rolling, is that's right. It's your local grocer for $5.84. You can buy now a little 13-ounce bottle of Cinnadust. Yeah, the same cinnamon sugar that goes in your Cinnamon Toast Crunch, you can put on anything now. So that's perfect type of stuff to talk about in the morning, as we try to keep it a little light and feathery for you to start your morning, as we do. And with that being said, we discuss the weather for what we had going on here locally. But when we come back from the break, as a little teaser, obviously, what else am I going to talk about, huh? Is getting into more of the National Weather Service and what they've put up with the two tropical depressions, 13 and 14 at the moment, that would be looking to do a little something over the weekend that would be carrying into the beginnings of next week for some of that tropical weather coming our way. So we're going to discuss a little bit about that at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. We'll be rounding out our week with Galen, Life South Community Blood Blood Centers, as I know he's got a busy weekend coming up with some of the basketball tournaments and stuff. But we're going to talk a little basketball as the NBA continued its playoffs yesterday with the Lakers and Orlando Magic, as well as our Miami Heat, and see where we're at with that as we roll on through. For this Friday, we'll get some of that conversation going, as well as where we can give the gift of life and donate blood. And then after that, we'll get to the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour. We'll be doing our news bits, a little bit more local bits of news that we can chew to get ourselves to the top of the 9 o'clock hour. We'll be giving you the, we missed it the last couple of days, but we'll be doing On This Day in History today at 9 o'clock. So stay tuned for that. And we'll continue to roll with the show, 622-9622. As like we said, our phone lines will be open. If there's a topic you want to discuss or something you want to bring or an opinion, you're welcome to it, as we welcome you to Talk Radio here, AM Ocala Live, as we say, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, and we are broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, and we are always streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. So with that good show lined up, we got some good stuff, too, to keep that conversation rolling through the weekend with some fun stuff, just like the Sin of Dust, as we'll be rolling with some of that as we come back from the break and everything. Get you your national news and your national information that you need. And then when we come back, we'll be doing our Ocala Quick Minute News to keep it a little bit more local within our state, to keep you informed. And then after that, we'll get the conversation rolling to keep you a little informed and a little entertained. So as we welcome you to the show, that's right. Hey, it's Friday. Everybody get down. Partying, yeah. We'll be back right after this. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
National Convention accepting his party's nomination for president, saying about President Trump if he's reelected.
He'll wake up every day believing the job is all about him, never about you. Is that the American you want for you, your family, your children? I see a different America.
The president in Old Forge, Pennsylvania.
We're the wall between the American dream and total insanity and the destruction of the greatest country in the history of the world. We're all that stands.
The Republican convention's next week. More evacuations because of wildfires are expected today in the San Francisco Bay Area and Central California. At least 5 people have died in or fighting the fires. More hot, windy weather's in the forecast today. America's listening to Fox News.
Napa know-how. Get all the quality parts you need at your locally owned Napa. Because right now, when you order from Napa online, you can pick up curbside at your local store in just 30 minutes. Or get your order delivered direct to your door with free one-day shipping and over 160,000 quality parts when you spend $35 or more. Quality parts delivered quickly and safely. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating stores, standard ground shipping and exclusions apply.
Do you really know Joe Biden? Now, Greg Kelly uncovers the real truth. Each night at 7 p.m. Eastern, watch Greg Kelly Reports on Newsmax TV and find out the surprising truth about Joe Biden, his mental health, his big decisions, the facts about his pick for vice president. Tune into Greg Kelly on Newsmax TV tonight on DirecTV, Dish, Xfinity, Cox, Optimum, Uverse, Fios, Suddenlink, Mediacom, Wow, Armstrong, or check your cable guide. Newsmax TV. It's real news for real people.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Hey, you feeling a bit frazzled and bored after months of social distancing? Well, here's an idea. One morning soon, take a refreshing walk in the garden, the Bob Wine's Camellia Garden in Ocala. This delightful 5-acre spot is wide open, has plenty of fresh air, and is jam-packed with innovative ideas not to mention some super low prices just for you. This week, they feature crepe myrtles, smaller ones as low as $2.99, all the way up to the big ones that are buy one, get one free. Easy Care Drift and Knockout Roses, they're just $19.99, and the 1 gallon hummingbird plants, they're just $8.99. Come see them. Bob Wines is open from 9 to 4:30. And they're on Southeast 38th Street, away from the traffic. Make it a date. Bob Wines Camellia Gardens, in the same blooming place since 1952. You'll love it.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Cloudy with a thunderstorm today, high 88 to 92. Tomorrow, cloudy to partly sunny with a thunderstorm around, high 90 to 92. Sunday, intervals of clouds to sunshine with a thunderstorm, high 89 to 93. Monday, some sunshine with a thunderstorm possible, humid, high 89 to 91. Tuesday, plenty of clouds, high 88 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
On August 26th at 10:05 a.m., representatives from the College of Central Florida will be my guest. This month's program will feature CF Associate Professor Travis Douglas, our agribusiness program manager, who will talk about the need for employees in the agribusiness field and in our area and share some of his personal experiences running a farm and what careers are available. Again, that's Wednesday the 26th at 10:35 a.m. It's valuable news from the College of Central Florida and your friends at WOCA, The Source.
There's a staycation right here in town. It's Super 8 Motel Ocala, right down the road on 40, just west of I-75. And they're pet friendly. Have truck parking, free breakfast,
Yum, yum.
a swimming pool, a kiddie pool, and veterans get 10% off. It's a staycation at Super 8 Ocala. Call today, Super 8 Ocala at 352-629-8794. Again, 352-629-8794.
Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Pals Ocala Auto Repair fixes all makes and models. Pals makes sure that your vehicle's engine, mechanical, and electrical components are healthy at all times. Pals team would much rather see you drive to their shop for a full checkup than be towed in for a complex repair. Give Pals a call today to schedule your next service appointment. 352-414-2984. What? A nationwide warranty, 36 months or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first? Pals looks forward to servicing you and servicing your vehicle. 352-414-2984.
Say now would be a great time this week to visit Bob Wines Camellia Gardens in Ocala, especially if you're looking for that just right idea to spruce up your yard or your garden. Now, in the old-timey greenhouse, they have tons of indoor foliage. All of it is 10% off. They've got bird baths and pottery, much more stuff like that, all 20% off. And now the vegetable plants have arrived. They've got tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, collards, broccoli, and much, much more. Vegetable plants, the jumbo 4-pack is just $3.99. And how about that pine straw, the world's greatest mulch? Get the extra large bale of pine straw, just $4.99 each when you buy 10 or more. And by the way, vote for Bob Wines in the best of the best. Bob Wines Camellia Gardens. Bob Wines is open from 9 to 4:30 on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Stay connected with the centers, in person or telehealth using computer, iPhone, or Android. Phone 352-291-5555.
WOCA.
Why call two men in a truck? If you're like most people, you're moving and you work hard. You call 352-289-0666. You need pros, trained, professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. You call 352-289-0666. People who care about your things as much as you do. Time is of the essence, and you want it done fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, the movers who care. Visit twomeninatruck.com today and get moving. So call 352-289-0666.
2 Men in a Truck.
WOCA.
And welcome back to the shows. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Happy Friday morning, everybody. 73 degrees out there, so fairly cool for the moment. Still a little sticky, but not too bad. So we had a lot of rain yesterday that kind of cooled things down a little bit. And actually, for most of the day, it was up until about 3 o'clock or so. It was fairly nice. It was a little bit cooler, with not as much, heat or humidity in the idea of till it came to the afternoon where a lot of the clouds broke and we got more of the sunshine. But for most of the morning into the early afternoon, it was very, very pleasant as that brought in the sunshine for the afternoon, which brought up stirred up the late afternoon and into evening, even into the night, as we just had plenty of rain. That rained for hours there last night, but definitely making the grass grow, that's for sure. As we can see a 60% of that chance of rain continued for today. Well, we even got some stuff on radar that looks to be coming this way from the west as it's kind of moving a little bit quicker there overall. But we could possibly see some showers and thunderstorms even happening before 11 a.m. So we'll keep our eye on it and see what we got. But now it is time for your Ocala Quick Minute News, 7:40, 20 minutes before the top of the 8 o'clock hour. For your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. As we take a look, almost all of Florida is under the cone of uncertainty as the tropical depression is expected to strengthen into a possible hurricane as the center of the forecast track puts the storm off Florida's Gulf Coast by even Monday night. Some of those most impacted by the reopening of Florida schools, are speaking out in the lawsuit between the state's largest teachers union and the governor.
Laura Pope's son is autistic. He was making great progress until his school closed. Since then, he's regressed. The Palm Beach Gardens mother supports the governor's order that students have the option of returning to classrooms 5 days a week.
Opening virtually doesn't help me. It doesn't help my son.
Citing research, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya says kids can spread COVID among each other.
The danger that children pose to teachers is much less than you would expect.
The Florida Education Association wants the judge to stop in-person classes until the pandemic is under control. I'm Eric Rodriguez.
Florida now tops 10,000 deaths from the coronavirus. The milestone was hit yesterday with another 117 fatalities that were reported, along with 4,600 new cases. It says a group of small business owners and workers is launching the Amendment 2 Hurts You campaign. They say the claim that the proposed constitutional amendment that would gradually raise Florida's minimum wage to $15 an hour will kill jobs, reduce workers' hours, and destroy Florida's economy, which is already struggling due to the coronavirus pandemic.
We are in a chaotic time with COVID, and if Amendment 2 passes and we are forced to pay people more than the market allows, we're not going to have more coming in than we are going out.
As the Tallahassee's restaurant owner Chip Evans, who says Amendment 2 could put him out of business. As we mentioned, with the tropical depression that continues to move west-northwest in the Atlantic on the apparent collision course with Florida, it's forecast to become a hurricane by the time it reaches the Gulf of Mexico on Monday night.
We have the unsettled weather ahead here heading into the weekend. Through the weekend, we're going to continue to gain a better perspective as to what Tropical Depression 13 could mean for our region.
as the National Weather Service meteorologist Robert Garcia says now's the time to get ready. Jobless claims are up in Florida. The U.S. Labor Department reports that over 66,000 initial claims were filed last week, an increase of more than 4,700 from the previous week. In sports, the Tampa Bay Rays are in first place in the American League's East after yesterday's 10-5 win gave them a 3-game sweep at Yankee Stadium. The Heat are up 2-0 in their Eastern Conference playoff series after a 109-100 victory in NBA's Orlando bubble. However, the Orlando Magic lost to the Milwaukee Bucks 111-96, and now that series is tied at 1 game apiece. For your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. More coming your way. We'll be back right after this.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
We are proud to announce the Conservative Watch Hour on WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM every Friday at 11 a.m. Hosted by Annie Marie Delgado, president of Trump Team 2020 Florida, and her co-host Ann Vandersteel with SteelTruth.com. We are serving a higher level of excellence, and we are the only program of this type in this market. Don't miss your weekly dose of conservative talk radio. WOCA 11 a.m. Fridays, 96.3 and 1370 a.m.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Cloudy with a thunderstorm today, high 88 to 92. Tomorrow, cloudy to partly sunny with a thunderstorm around, high 90 to 92. Sunday, intervals of clouds to sunshine with a thunderstorm, high 89 to 93. Monday, some sunshine with a thunderstorm possible, humid, high 89 to 91. Tuesday, plenty of clouds, high 88 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
Tick-tock. The days fly by, and we find tax season is upon us once again. Not to worry, though. With a reputable CPA firm on your side, you can rest assured that all of your needs will be handled in a professional and thorough manner. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart is just that firm. They're there for their clients year-round, not just during tax season, to handle your needs and answer any questions you may encounter. At Robson, Scribner, and Stewart, there is no client too small or too large. Their expertise ranges from the single individual to the largest of corporations. Get your return prepared by a professional who will use their years of experience to ensure that your tax return's outcome will leave you in the best possible position. Call them today at 694-4184. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart. They're there for you today. Again, that number is 694-4184. Time is of the essence, so don't delay. 694-4184.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Stay connected with the centers, in person or telehealth using computer, iPhone, or Android. Phone 352-291-5555.
WOCA.
Yeah, welcome back to the show. AM Ocala Live on this Friday, 7:47, as we're making our way through this 7 o'clock hour. And as we mentioned before with our Ocala Quick Minute News, some more information with the National Weather Service as we were talking about the tropical weather out there, Tropical Depression 13, as Tropical Depression 13 could approach Florida, as they say, by Monday. As Tropical Depression 13 remains disorganized, but is expected to bring rain and wind into the northern Leeward Islands today. It says it's moving west-northwest at 21 miles per hour with winds at 35 miles per hour. The latest positioning had it located about 305 miles east of the northern Leeward Islands, as they say that the forecast forward as tropical storm watches have been issued for Puerto Rico and a tropical storm watch for some of the others like the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Martin, St. Bartholomew, and Antigua and St. Kitts and Nevis. On the forecast track, it says Depression 13 is expected to move near or north of the northern Leeward Islands by late Friday today and north of the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico on Saturday. So the gradual strengthening is in the forecast, and the Tropical Depression 13 could become Tropical Storm Laura or Marco. I'm not sure yet, because if they're watching the other one that's out there as well, is 14. That's been around the Yucatan Peninsula, and whether or not that actually might turn into something itself as well. It says the Tropical Depression 13 is expected to produce 1 to 3 inches of rain with maximum totals of 5 inches over the northern Leeward Islands, the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and they say even maybe 3 to 6 inches near Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands through Sunday. Tropical storm conditions are possible within the watch area by late Friday and Saturday. Now, on this current track, and this is where they're paying attention to it, that depression number 13 is expected to move towards Florida then come early next week. And there's a high uncertainty about the exact intensity, but it is becoming very possible that some portion of Florida may be impacted based on the more consistent west-northwest track. As they say, the latest forecast has Tropical Depression 13 as a hurricane somewhere near or over the state by Monday. Because with the current track that it's on, with the west-northwest and staying north of the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Cuba, and just south of the Bahamas, for the expectation of building intensity that may bring it to a hurricane status come at the point beginning of next week where it may reach Florida as becoming a hurricane. It says because of the very high uncertainty, the forecast may change, though, over the next several days, as they say, to stay tuned to it as Tropical Depression 13 through Friday and into the weekend. As remember, hurricane season runs through November 30th. The only thing is as this was updated this morning, is they say that Tropical Depression 13 remains, though, very disorganized this morning. And with that, it's unclear whether the system will still have a closed circulation. Now, the track guidance has shifted southward this morning as some westerly shear and dry air suggests that the significant strengthening is actually unlikely during the next 24 hours. But it is forecast to be a tropical storm this weekend, as the strong subtropical ridge, as they mentioned, over the western Atlantic, should remain north of the depression during the next few days. It will steer it west-northwest. And they say after that, then the ridge would weaken over the eastern Gulf of Mexico. The Tropical Depression 13 may interact then with Tropical Depression 14, like we mentioned, which is over there in the Yucatan, which is also in the forecast to be in the Gulf of Mexico at the same time. So they're definitely keeping an eye on it, but it definitely feels like for the moment, for right now, that there really is a lot of speculation to the idea of just the intensity of the storm. But it does look, as far as the spaghetti plot and models, that while it's too soon to know the exact impacts, as they still expect high rain chances and stronger winds that they'll be watching through the weekend that could carry, like we said, into the idea of the Florida Peninsula, to bring up an expectation of that wet weather come into the early parts of next week. Now, for Tropical Depression 14, like we mentioned, it's it's actually south of the Yucatan Peninsula. It's just kind of hanging around there, a little disorganized in itself, but they're expecting that to move a little bit more northwesterly, more northwesterly. That will maybe some gain in intensity towards the weekend as it reaches out over the Gulf of Mexico. And then the key there is whether or not that would come into contact with number 13, as it mentions, towards the Gulf of Mexico by the time it enters Monday early next week. So keeping an eye on that altogether, as that was where pretty much they're at for the moment, as just one of those things round out the work week and say, all right, it's in the back of our minds, and we pretty much can play out the weekend, which is already going to be some wet weather nonetheless, as we brought up that today 60% chance, and that's going to bleed into tonight with a 70% chance. In your forecast for Saturday, which they were originally calling for a little drier air, is now looking to continue a 70% chance with a possibility of even a shower and thunderstorm as early as 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And with that, they say the 70% chance to remain in the afternoon for Saturday, as they're expecting showers and thunderstorms there after 3 p.m. to carry into Saturday night and Sunday morning, as they're expecting even a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms as early as 9 a.m. on Sunday, and then 3 p.m. thereafter, with 70% chance for Sunday for the showers and thunderstorms. And then by then, we'll have an idea of what we can expect early next week, Monday, then Tuesday, with more information as that tropical depression moves its way northwesterly towards Florida, to where we can see by early next week where we'll definitely be at with that, as they're just pronouncing the forecast for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to be an upwards of a 90% chance of showers and thunderstorms possible, as they're even mentioning with the as early as 9 a.m. for Monday and even Tuesday. So definitely some rain in the forecast to carry through the weekend, and we'll see how that goes. And who knows, maybe our conversation on Monday will be either talking hurricane, or that it won't be anything but just maybe what we've had out over the Gulf of Mexico these last few days, which is just an disorganized low pressure that's just bringing in some more rain. But who knows? Who knows? But yeah, there you go. We do have a caller. Good morning, WOCA. You're on the air.
Good morning, Adam.
Morning, Hugh. How you doing this Friday, partner?
Oh, we had a nice steady rain last night over here on this side of town, about a half an inch, which was nice.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like, besides sports this weekend, we'll have to be watching the Weather Channel. It looks like we might be having a hurricane doubleheader.
It might be, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, as both storms, as mentioned, is supposed to be over the Gulf of Mexico, kind of around the same time. It's 13 and 14. The 13 is what we've been paying attention to, obviously. I think there's a good potential for that to become something a little bit stronger, although it's weakened today. We'll see where that ends up. Yeah, we don't know. It'll be neat to see what happens here, and hopefully it's nothing too stupendous. It's just enough to bring us some more rain and move itself out. Maybe get some of this hot, humid weather out and give us a trend of some, some more clear, fresh mornings with less humidity. Who knows?
Well, being 2020 with this hurricane situation and everything else going on, I don't know. Hang on, it could be something pretty good.
That's right. It's already been such an active season. We mentioned earlier in the week that with the talk about these depressions, that if they do become named storms, we could have the earliest, what looks to be L storm, and if it does get to where both storms be named L and M, we've never had an M storm in August. But like I said, partner, to be honest with you, as long as where we're at in the season with how active it's been, but not really having any trouble with anything more than, just tropical depressions and tropical storms, no massive category heavy hurricanes, I'll take it.
Yeah. So far we're lucky. Of course, we got all of September to go through, which is the high point of the season and that. But anyway, speaking of good, the Milwaukee Bucks looked like their old team again last night, and I think they won't have any more problems with Orlando.
I'm starting to think that too. I think Orlando surprised them a little bit there and was able to come away with a good victory. They beat up on them pretty good at game one, but I think we'll be talking with Galen about it here at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. But I think he felt the same way, that it was going to be a buckle down. Almost probably a good thing for Milwaukee, because that allowed them to understand what was next, and the perception of what it takes now that you're in the playoffs to handle teams. And I don't see it being an issue either.
According to all the experts in that line of sports, they said that Milwaukee shouldn't have any problems with Orlando, and it might not be that exciting to watch. So maybe it was a fix to give them the first game just to make it interesting.
It makes you wonder around the NBA, except for the Miami Heat, whatever games were considered upsets or somewhere close, they've been now evenly matched 1-1 as the Lakers and Portland Trailblazers were evened as the Lakers beat them pretty good last night. So it makes you wonder to get people to watch. But then again, as Galen and I mentioned, I know you were listening, Hugh, it's pretty sound how the NBA has done the bubble down there in Orlando, and maybe that's just what it is. It's just good competitive basketball that, one night it's a little bit mistake and poor shooting, and the next night they can come away and do what they need to do. So maybe all of these series will be a little bit interesting to watch. It's been fun. It's been fun to watch this bubble work out like it has, and I know we've been a fan of it.
Yeah, you got to give the NBA a lot of credit for under the circumstances they handle this whole situation pretty well. Let's just hope baseball can get along in the same with the same luck in that. But I don't know. I got my feelings about the baseball situation being a little more with so many players involved that if they get through this into like what they call like a World Series, it'll be a miracle. But I don't know. I'm just kind of holding my breath and waiting for the football season to start, and I think that's going to be more successful, I hope. So anyways, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And partner, I know so many people, I've been talking to a lot of people, we're excited for that NFL season. I know a lot of people are. It's going to be fun to watch, regardless of how it's come to fruition with fans or not. It's going to be neat. We appreciate the call, partner.
Okay, have a good day.
You too. WOCA, The Source, coming up on the 8 o'clock hour. Stay tuned. Live South Community Blood Centers and your agricultural news. Up next, we'll be back after this.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Joe Biden accepts the Democrats' nomination for president. In his speech wrapping up the party's convention, he says it's time for we the people to come together and face one of the toughest moments in American history.
The worst pandemic in over 100 years, the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, the most compelling call for racial justice since the 60s, and the undeniable realities and just the accelerating threats of climate change.
President Trump says if reelected,
we will create 10 million jobs in the next year. We will hire more police. We will ban sanctuary cities. We will appoint prosecutors, judges, and justices who believe in the rule of law.
The president there in Old Forge, Pennsylvania. The Republican convention starts Monday. America's listening to Fox News.
Napa know-how.
Get all the quality parts you need at your locally owned Napa. Because right now, when you order from Napa online, you can pick up curbside at your local store in just 30 minutes. Or get your order delivered direct to your door with free one-day shipping and over 160,000 quality parts when you spend $35 or more. Quality parts delivered quickly and safely. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating stores, standard ground shipping and exclusions apply.
Do you really know Joe Biden? Now, Greg Kelly uncovers the real truth. Each night at 7 p.m. Eastern, watch Greg Kelly Reports on Newsmax TV and find out the surprising truth about Joe Biden, his mental health, his big decisions, the facts about his pick for vice president. Tune into Greg Kelly on Newsmax TV tonight on DirecTV, Dish, Xfinity, Cox, Optimum, Uverse, Fios, Suddenlink, Mediacom, WOW, Armstrong, or check your cable guide. Newsmax TV. It's real news for real people.
From the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Today in Ag News, I'm a Southeast AgNet. Virtual hearings have been held the past couple of weeks with the U.S. Trade Representative's office to give them, the U.S. Department of Commerce, and the Trump administration an opportunity to hear from growers in Georgia and Florida about the unfair trade practices that are being experienced by seasonal growers in regards to Mexican imports. One of those testifying yesterday was U.S. Congressman Austin Scott of Georgia. He focused on the importance of the country's ability to feed itself.
One of the biggest issues American producers currently face is the challenge of combating dumping of foreign subsidized crops in the U.S. markets below the cost of production. Stopping unfair trade practices against American farmers, specifically producers of seasonal and perishable crops, is vital to U.S. agriculture independence. Unlike other crops such as corn, wheat, and rice, which I would also add are below the cost of production today, producers of seasonal and perishable crops do not have the option of storing their yields until market prices stabilize. From harvest to market, fresh fruit and vegetables must be sold in a narrow window. In recent years, Mexico's increase of specialty crop exports to the United States under the North American Free Trade Agreement has had a profoundly negative impact on fresh fruit and vegetable sectors, resulting in a significant loss of U.S. farm revenue because of unfair Mexican subsidies, making it nearly impossible for American producers to compete.
More information from those hearings can be found on AgNet Media's Vegetable and Specialty Crop News website, vscnews.com.
For generations, we've worked the land. We've faced hardships and uncertainty before, but you can depend on Florida's farmers. We will continue to rise before dawn and harvest our crops, ensuring that Florida-grown fruits and vegetables are in your stores and that your family is fed. We are providers for our families and yours. We're Florida's farmers, and we're in this together.
Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
On August 26th at 10:05 a.m., representatives from the College of Central Florida will be my guest. This month's program will feature CF Associate Professor Travis Douglas, our agribusiness program manager, who will talk about the need for employees in the agribusiness field and in our area and share some of his personal experiences running a farm and what careers are available. Again, that's Wednesday the 26th at 10:35 a.m. It's valuable news from the College of Central Florida and your friend at WOCA, The Source.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Cloudy with a thunderstorm today, high 88 to 92. Tomorrow, cloudy to partly sunny with a thunderstorm around, high 90 to 92. Sunday, intervals of clouds to sunshine with a thunderstorm, high 89 to 93. Monday, some sunshine with a thunderstorm possible, humid, high 89 to 91. Tuesday, plenty of clouds, high 88 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
WOCA.
Ocala.
And you're listening to AIM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, 5 minutes past the top of the 8 o'clock hour. And it's now time for Life South Community Blood Centers. Our good friend Galen. Good morning, Galen. How you doing today this morning, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, Adam? How are you this morning?
Pretty good, pretty good. Not too bad. We got a little bit of a wet weekend coming up, but it is a weekend, and we finished another work week. And I think after this week of trying to get all the kids back to school and all that stuff, I think people are kind of looking forward to this weekend and being like, all right, kids are back to school, trying to do what we need to do, and then we'll get into next week, man. It's the last full work week there of August. And before you know it, next weekend we'll be talking about getting into September as August has flown by a little bit, which is good news because we're moving right along with the rest of this year. And with that comes still the conversation of some good sports. Yesterday we had the NBA. I know a lot of people. I was talking to Hugh before the 8 o'clock hour, and he brought up the NFL and his excitement with wanting to watch it. And a lot of people I talked to are pretty excited about the NFL this fall. How about you?
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet because, I don't know, it's just been kind of weird, obviously. But I haven't gotten the excitement yet, but I will. I'm sure I'll get there eventually because I think we need it.
Yeah, I think we need it. And I can say I'm there a little bit because following my Saints and their Facebook page and, the stuff they've been doing and posting, kind of getting into a little bit. And then, man, I got to tell you, I'm really excited to see what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to end up doing. There's a lot of stories in the NFL this season. I think Tampa Bay is one of them. That there's a lot of teams in the NFL that have this story, this little backdrop to having potential to be very good, but it doesn't really You don't get to see what's going to happen until they start playing. And I think there's going to be a few teams in the NFL here that are actually going to be standing upright, at least in the beginning of the season, as a little bit of a shock. And it's going to be neat to see how the rest of the season plays out, where some of the teams that you'd probably expect to be good probably will still be good when I think about Kansas City. But then I think about teams like, Tampa Bay. And here's another team I'm thinking about is, and I wanted to know your opinion on this quarterback, was Phillip Rivers. And what do you think about him? And of all places, Indianapolis.
Well, first of all, he's got to win the job. I think Jacoby Brissett is still, obviously still there. He's been the starter for the last 2 years.
And not a terrible job either.
I don't think Phillip Rivers is going to be out Jacoby Brissett.
No.
So, no. And I think there's also some teams that are just going to be interestingly bad.
Yeah.
You look at New England, who half their defense is going to opt out.
Right.
Or has opted out. Now, they could come back in. They just may want to miss OTAs.
Yeah.
But as of right now, they've lost like 8 players, I think.
Yeah.
And so I think that'll be an interesting twist. But yeah, I think the Bucks, the Baltimore Ravens are a team to see if they can repeat what they did last year.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you said the Chiefs and the Raiders being in Vegas for the first time.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are always a main story. My rule on the Cowboys is take the expectations and lower them by 30%, and that's where they'll end up because they're the most hyped team of all time. So there you go. I think the Bucks are interesting. Even the Dolphins will be interesting with what they do with their situation, whether Tua gets the start, or how they play it. But it'll be good. There's some good storylines. There always are in the NFL. And then by week 3, you realize there's a bunch of frauds.
Yeah.
And who we thought was good is going to be good.
They were who they thought they were. Exactly.
Right.
We were who they thought they were. It's interesting you mentioned.
Well, if you look at that, like last year, Cincinnati. Cleveland. Everybody's like, oh, Cleveland. Well, they went 2-7 or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
They're like, they're still the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
So you're accustomed to that kind of stuff.
Oh, I didn't even.
Cleveland hasn't even been a legitimate city in 60, 70 years. Maybe since A Christmas Story came out, even though it's filmed in the 50s. That's probably the last time they were legitimate.
You need to go visit Cleveland here lately, partner. It's had a little resurgence. Yeah.
I've been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Congratulations. You're important once a year.
Now, as far as the Browns bandwagon, I did not jump on that last season because no Cleveland sports team does well when there's good expectations or big expectations. We're always an underdog. You have to lower the bar as far as it can go. And then when we do decently or play above average, then we've really exceeded expectations. And then you talk playoffs week 3. But no, I saw that coming last year, and we'll see where that ends up. It's hard to say where that'll be. I don't even want to hear people talk about it because you got another new head coach, a new system. You got some talent on the team, but other than that, I don't see them. I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm actually kind of interested to see where the Pittsburgh Steelers will end up because, like you said, let's see if Baltimore can kind of bring some of that showmanship, the MVP. Let's see if they can bring that for another season. But I'm kind of curious to see how Pittsburgh, which they've been in a little bit of a turmoil, but they always find a way to play decent football, and if that's going to be the Thornton and Baltimore side for that division. And when I think about the AFC in general, I think about Kansas City, and you mentioned with New England, I'm going to be kind of curious to see what Cam Newton does there. And also one of the other teams.
Well, your assumption is Cam Newton will be a starter.
Yeah, my assumption is
there's no guarantee there.
There isn't?
There's no guarantee with that. Heck no.
No, there isn't.
We don't know how healthy he is.
That's true. And that's what was his foot, right? His ankle was the
shoulder.
The shoulder.
Shoulder, ankle, ribs. The guy's been pretty well beat up. That's what happens to running quarterbacks.
That's what happens to running quarterbacks. Yep, exactly. And then just thinking about, like when we mentioned Kansas City, like you said, I think it's going to be kind of neat to see how the Las Vegas Raiders, with their first season in Las Vegas. Are you a fan of John Gruden at all?
Well, they're going to lose. They're going to lose 10 games.
Oh, you think so?
But I think the stadium itself will be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am a fan of Gruden.
Yeah.
I think what he did with the Bucks is evident of that. I mean, he's been to Super Bowls with two different teams.
Yeah.
He's got to have a quarterback, though.
Right.
He's got to have a quarterback who's not going to turn the ball over.
Right.
And, he's building something there with a bunch of young talent. They had the youngest team in the NFL last year.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can get enough quarterback play to make it. And, of course, he won the Super Bowl because of the Bucs defense. But,
right.
That being said, I think he's got a chance of building something there.
Is that the missing piece, you think, maybe for them, is the quarterback position? Because Carr really hasn't shown.
It's the missing piece for, there's out of the all the teams in the NFL, it's the missing piece for 75% of them.
Yeah, it's true.
But for every Tom Brady and there's a Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
Or Matthew Stafford,
yeah,
who's good enough to make it so that you don't get another quarterback.
Right.
But all he does is get coaches fired.
Right.
I'm a firm believer in that. And you're better off having a quarterback that's terrible and cheap than a quarterback that's good but expensive. You look at Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers
you're going to go in that
is
direction.
not going to win a Super Bowl. He's not going to win a Super Bowl because the rest of his team isn't good enough. Aaron Rodgers isn't good enough to carry a team to the Super Bowl because guess what? Nobody in the NFL is. No one is.
Right.
Tom Brady wins Super Bowls because he's got so much talent and depth around him.
Yeah, exactly.
Granted, he had no wide receivers last year, but they've always had enough defensive talent to win football games.
Right. And it's a marathon season when you look at it, and when you think about the, to be honest with you too, the last few seasons and what you see this expectations of this year, the NFC is tough when you're talking about Seattle, when you're talking about the New Orleans Saints, and now even maybe the conversation of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When you're talking about some of these other teams in the NFC, it's hard to see Green Bay really making a run. And with that being said, I got to keep calling it.
Every team you mentioned has the same problem.
Yeah.
Right. Seattle was good when Russell Wilson was cheap.
Yeah.
Now that he's very expensive, they don't have as much money to spend on an outside linebacker or that left guard.
Right.
And so the quality of your team erodes as you have one superstar.
Right.
You look at Drew Brees, same thing. He won a Super Bowl, got paid. You can name that everywhere. The difference is with New England, Tom Brady just basically took the league minimum for years, and years and years, and that was part of why they were able to sustain their greatness.
Yeah.
But you can't. It's very difficult. Now that the Kansas City Chiefs have signed.
Yeah.
Their quarterback to that massive deal.
Mahomes.
How long can they keep the Travis Kelce's and and all their other studs around?
Yeah. And I think about that with their defense. How are you going to keep that talent there on defense, which is a big part in the AFC, especially in that division too. So Mahomes is strong, but it doesn't matter if you got a gunsling to do shootouts, 47-36 every weekend.
There's nobody else in the AFC West that can play with Kansas City because they don't have any quarterbacks. There's just not another quarterback. There's not a quarterback that can play, and so Kansas City's going to dominate that league for a while.
Yeah, I could see that definitely see that. But yeah, like we said, man, some good storylines there to see where the NFL season will go with some of those teams. So that'll be exciting to watch, and I think that'll be the nice distraction as we move into the fall for the remainder of the year. So definitely looking forward to that. I wanted to turn it over to baseball, and we know where your where your Red Sox stand, but with how you've talked about every so often, I've been reading between the lines of how you mention these San Diego Padres. I wanted to bring them up today for you because I think that's the team that you're paying attention to a little bit, knowing that your Red Sox are down and out. And partner, they set a record yesterday. Did you see that?
Sure did.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
The Grand Slam streak that got started in dramatic fashion when the superstar Fernando Tatis hit a Grand Slam on Monday night, and they did it 4 consecutive games, a Grand Slam. That's incredible.
Well, and the thing is the Padres they've got a great general manager, but they've been building this team for several years. And it's just starting to click.
Yeah.
AJ Preller, something like that. Prelier, I don't know. Anyway, he's been building this team with trades. And what he does is he gets guys from other rosters that he think are going to fit into his system without having to pay them a huge ton.
Yeah.
Like he got Manny Machado.
Yeah.
Right? Because Manny Machado's his cost just fell through the bottom when he said, I don't play hard every day.
Right.
And he came in and signed him to a fairly economical deal.
Yeah.
He's got to Fernando Tatis, because he's still a rookie. He's fairly cheap. He made some really good moves. Their pitching staff is middle of the road.
Right. Some nights they're fantastic. Other nights they falter a little bit, but they still battle. They still hang in there. Yeah.
They're very young. But they can flat out hit the ball. And Tatis is a superstar in the making.
Yeah, he is.
Absolute superstar.
Yes, he is, dude. He's one to watch.
He's only 21. He's 21 years old. He reminds me of Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
Mookie Betts, a lot more flashier than Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts is a guy that I was watching for a long time. It just came on. It was just this. He's a guy when you're watching, you look for him.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, where's Mookie at?
Yeah.
And there's always some guy you think's going to be that way, and it's just not. But I think there's some really interesting things going on in baseball in California, whether it's, Mike Trout's having a great year.
Yeah.
For somebody who came in. But the Padres are, I think, the story right now in baseball.
Yeah.
Outside of that other team in Ohio. So, again, the Cleveland Indians are playing great baseball.
Yeah.
Great baseball right now.
Windians, yeah, they won a few in a row there. They're doing good baseball. For the moment, we'll see when they play the Twins again for sure, because I know that's a big bottom out sometimes.
I think they have 5 more series with the Twins.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll maybe see.
The Yankees are falling apart.
They are. What happened there?
I think is kind of interesting.
Yeah, what's...
let's see. Stanton got hurt.
Yeah.
Pitching staff isn't very good right now. They're playing good teams. They've been playing the Rays.
Yeah.
They're not playing the Red Sox anymore. The Red Sox cover up a lot of problems.
They kind of do for a lot of teams, like exactly that. They cover up a lot. They patch a lot of those holes for the minute, put a lot of Band-Aids on the situation. But like you said, playing a good team. Tampa Bay's solid right now, and they showed it doing what they did to sweep the Yankees.
Well, the Athletics, that going back to California, are playing really good baseball. They have the best record in the American League, and nobody talks about.
And nobody talks about them. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Is Billy Beane still the GM over there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he quietly builds his teams, and again, for a short run, I think they really have a good chance of doing something pretty special.
And I think this platform is a way for them to do that, by the way. This abbreviated season, being fresh in a playoff, and where they could be maybe winning the division. Yeah, this would be the kind of season for them to do that.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
And let's see how they end up doing, again in September. The playoff system is going to be really weird. I don't know if they can compete with that. I don't know if they have that stud.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see how that'll end up. But a little interesting for baseball right now, considering how this abbreviated season has gone through. Like we said, some teams that are looking outstanding, playing some not so great teams, and then some middle of the road teams that you would think would be middle of the road are playing really solid baseball, and it's showing with the way they are. Like we said, like Tampa Bay. I mean, they're just solid, and just how well, like we mentioned with the San Diego Padres. Moving on to the NBA, partner, I see that we were right about Orlando Magic maybe not being able to hang in Game 2 with Milwaukee, as they fell 111-96. They were beat up pretty good there last night.
Well, yeah, again, them winning one game was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like, honestly, it's like, here, congratulations.
Yeah.
You won one game. That's what they did last year in the playoffs.
That's what they,
and I don't know if that's how you get better in the NBA. You have to get good draft picks.
Yeah.
That's how they were good in the past when they hit the lottery when they got Shaq and Anthony Hardaway in the draft, both the number 1 overall picks. So that's what you kind of need. So that's why the Knicks have been terrible forever.
Yeah.
Because they don't have that top pick.
Yeah.
This year the Timberwolves got it. We'll see how that works.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Pay attention to that a little bit more and more as they did get it. And I was going to bring up the Miami Heat. They look strong. Of course, I would expect them to be over Indiana, but they're playing solid basketball, and I think they're definitely one to watch in the East. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they're one to watch for sure. I'm not convinced.
Yeah, I'm not convinced either. I know, but one to watch to see what could happen there. And I was going to say, before I jump on that bandwagon too of what it is to see, like we said, is one to watch. The other one there was the Lakers ended up getting their series tied one apiece as they beat up on Portland 111-88, and stayed tuned to that one just a little bit there, and the Lakers pretty much had them that entire game. I know they had a big lead early on at the end of the first quarter and then just kind of stuck with it. Do you see that kind of playing out, or do you see Game 3, Trailblazers coming back?
No, the Trailblazers are done.
Yeah.
If Lillard is hurt, I don't think they have a chance.
Yeah.
And he did not look good in that game after he hurt his finger.
He did not.
And give it to the Lakers. Anthony Davis had a monster game last night. That was the key. That was the key. They dominated the boards.
Yeah.
And then Portland didn't shoot that great, and Dom didn't go off because they were down, though. They were down in the early part of the second half. They were down by like 18, and it was over.
Yeah.
So we'll see. They got a quick turnaround. I expected the Lakers to come out with some fight.
Yeah.
If the Lakers continue to play like that, they'll win it all.
Yeah.
I want to be clear. If they play like they did last night, they're going to win it all.
Yeah.
The only team who's in their way right now who's playing good basketball consistently is the Celtics.
Yeah.
And they're beating a diminished 76ers team, but
yeah.
The Celtics are a good basketball team.
It's too early to say it, but I was going to say, does this, the idea of a Lakers-Celtics finals, does that drum up even more for the idea of the NBA bubble? Is that something historic in a way?
Well, it'll give some credence to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if let's say Milwaukee got there or Toronto got there, right? Who are Toronto won it last year. It would give some real credence to whoever wins the championship this year.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah. That's true. I dig it. And by the way, with those Lakers, like we said, Anthony Davis, monster game, 31 points, 3 assists, 11 rebounds. Then it was just kind of spread out from there. LeBron only throwing up 10 with 7 assists and 6 rebounds, and then it was spread out from there. 10 points, 16 points, as even J.R. Smith threw up 11. So, like you said, with the way they played, the Lakers pretty much spread out basketball, and Anthony Davis taking charge. They play like that. I think, like you said, that there's probably maybe one team that stands in their way for maybe a title. if they consistently play like that. Still a long way to go and a marathon for those playoffs, and especially for this series, too. Awesome, partner. Well, as we're coming to the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour, as the Giving the Gift of Life, donating blood, we're rounding out the week, getting into the weekend. What do you have for the folks today, Galen, and where will the Bloodmobile be?
Again, I just want to reiterate that we really need platelets right now, and we really need platelets. So, our usage is just skyrocketing. I think we used more platelets yesterday in our system than we ever have.
Is that
in
right?
The history of Life South. Yeah,
Wow.
It's been really, really crazy. Wow. So we just, if you've never done it, couldn't think of a better day than today to call us at 622-3544 and give the gift of life and donate blood right there at our Boulevard location. Our Bloodmobile is going to be all over the place this weekend. Stop by and see it. Today we're actually at Oak Crest Elementary School working with the teachers and the faculty and the staff there. So that's kind of cool that we're back doing that. And hopefully next week we'll have a really clear idea of what high school football and high school sports is going to look like in Marion County.
Exactly.
I know they're going to play only a Marion County schedule.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll have an idea of what that's going to look like.
And you're okay with that, like you said. It's I know some people say, "Oh, what does that mean for the season?" Hey, they're playing football, I think, which is what matters now.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's now there's no. It makes 0 sense scientifically. 0 sense.
Right.
Right. I want to be very clear about that. But they're doing it because it's the most they could do and get away with it without the public destroying them.
Right.
But there are a lot of counties that are like, no, we're playing whoever we want. Trinity Catholic's going to stick to. They're going to play out of county, so therefore the local high schools aren't going to be able to play Trinity because that's the rule. Is they can't play any other team outside of the county if they have a game outside the county
because they're the
so
ones
I don't know what
trailing.
that means for. I don't know if that means like St. John's is going to join and play teams like Vanguard and Westport.
Yeah.
I hope not because they may get hurt.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that shakes out. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
They may play them as a JV team or something.
Because they're big boys.
I don't know. Well, there's just more of them.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to have 60 kids instead of 25.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, awesome, partner. Well, it's like we said, we'll see. We'll stay tuned. We look forward to talking to you next week, and you guys enjoy the weekend up there and have some fun with that basketball, partner.
Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate your time. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Donate blood.
AM Ocala Live, more coming your way back after this.
Wrapping up the party's convention, he says it's time for we the people to come together and face one of the toughest moments in American history.
The worst pandemic in over 100 years, the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, the most compelling call for racial justice since the 60s, and the undeniable realities and just the accelerating threats of climate change.
President Trump says if reelected,
we will create 10 million jobs in the next year. We will hire more police. We will ban sanctuary cities. We will appoint prosecutors, judges, and justices who believe in the rule of law.
the president there in Old Forge, Pennsylvania.